be quiet. Remember, first section, you're gonna get little angle sections like this. Pin it up, make sure it's wet, the whole head. Condition it before you even start washing conditioners like that. It's nice and wet through the whole haircut. Stand straight behind it. We'll take like a ½ inch off. Stretch it over. Carry it over. See your guide. Cut to it, don't cut into it. Now you're gonna do 1/4 inch sections like this through the whole part. Through this whole right section. Bring it down, anything past that guide, cut it. Travel it over. Stand straight behind it, head tilted, hands facing down. Nothing else there. So now I'm gonna use that first little section we did to travel it over to the left side now. And the reason why I have to keep spraying it that much is because my buddy P here never washed and conditioned it. Not today.
Not today.
Exactly. That's it. You traveled it over. Now put this away because you don't need it because you already got a guide for the left side now. 1/4 inch sections. Find your guide. Anything past that guide, cut it. Roughen the cut. So now you're gonna get your hanging length for the sides. Same thing with the sides. Stand straight on the side. Get your 7.
That's what it was. Let me keep the 7. Hold on. Pink, pink.
Now, remember, we're supposed to travel that 7 over. But if it's already angled, you're not gonna have much to cut, except for the very beginning of your angle, because remember, you start at the hanging length. So right here, you're supposed to have like a tiny bit to cut only right here to travel over. If it has angles. If it didn't have angles, you'd be traveling it over like that, boom, and you'd keep on, and then the next section. So after you travel that 7 over, put this away. Because now, let's make pretend this wasn't angled, this here would reach straight down here like that, straight. All this would reach. But since it's angled, it's not reaching, so you got none to cut. So you would do straight sections. After you carry that 7 over, straight sections. That's your front hanging length. So now we're gonna get our 7 in the back. So now we got our 7 in the back that we got to travel over to the front. Now I'm going to show you real quick, right? Hanging length, tilt the head to the front, you're standing behind it. Hanging length on the side, tilt the head to the side, stand straight on the side, hanging length. You're done with your hanging length. Yeah. Now goes angles. For your angles, it's gonna face you.
Twist the head clockwise.
You're gonna get your little peak in the front to make a guide so you can meet into it. Get your little house right here. And your little house from this side. pull it down, cut your little house. Make sure that this little knuckle right here is lined up dead center so you can meet to it. And I'll go like this. Now I separate it. I choose to do that side first, so I put this away. Now, I know that he cut into his hanging length last time, so you gotta go from here now to behind the ear like a 1/2 inch. The reason why you take that stuff behind the ear is because that's where you start your guide from. Now you're gonna pull the first section this way. You start at the hanging length. Once that hanging length either drops or hides, you start cutting there. You travel it out. And you wanna keep traveling until you finally get to that guide. So I already know how much I gotta angle it. I'll go like this. Cut.
See, that's what messes me up when you cut it.
He has a little hole there. We'll try to make it meet up. And that's it. From that guide to that guide. That's it. Now, the rest of the sections, you don't pull them this way. You pull them straight down.
Oh, only the first one you like that.
Only the first one. After that, the rest of them, you pull them straight down. Now remember, this is angles. This is where you guys be mixing your angles with your layers. Angles you only do on the front. So now you comb them straight down. And since the hair's in an angle, it's kind of like doing hanging length, except for your hair's in an angle, so you gotta follow that hanging length that's in an angle.
I'm so tired of being alone. I'm so tired of on my own. Won't you help me, girl?
Oh, so you come.
So anything that's past my guide, I cut it. And I don't see much past it. Right here, see a little bit? That's it, so I keep going. Section by section.
Because Pete already did all this, right? Did all this? Yeah.
Check it. And usually back here you don't have nothing to cut because that's your hanging line.
I thought you can't fold your hands.
You gotta go like this to follow your guide.
Doesn't it throw it off?
This is only for angles. Remember, your angles, when you first did that section to the front, that makes it angled. So now all you're doing is following that first section with the rest of these hairs. As you comb them down, that first one under is in an angle. You have to follow that. So it's like doing hanging length, but your hanging length is like this, so you have to go like that. Because if you go like this, what you gonna cut? You put this away, get down over there. Now you come into this side. Same thing over here. Go from the little peak to behind the ear, 1/2 inch. First section, pull towards you. Start at your hanging length. See, once your hanging length either highs or drop, cut to your knuckle. Keep going. That's your guide. Cut to your knuckle.
It's raining outside, so.
Cut to your knuckle. You see the guide up there?
Yeah.
So I know I gotta work my way up there. So now I go like that. There's my guide. I'm gonna work my way up there. Cut to the knuckle. See it?
Yeah.
Cut to the knuckle.
When I did my.
That's it. That's my guide. Now that's my guide to do this whole section.
Yep.
So now I'm gonna grab another little section.
I should go straight down with it, right?
Now you go straight down with them. Now stay focused, guys. Now you go down with it. Anything past that guide that you made, you're gonna cut. See a couple little hairs right here past my guide? See them? That's all I'm cutting. So now I grab another section. You're gonna keep going like that. By the time you get up here, this is your hanging length. Remember, that's your guide. You don't got nothing to cut back there. Most of the time it's in between here. That's your angles for this side. That's hanging length and angles. Now you're doing layers. Get a little section from both sides. Get a little section from the right side. Get a little section from the other side. When you're parting, you can stand wherever. When you're cutting, is when you have to stand in a certain spot. And when you're doing layers, you're standing behind. But I'm not doing layers right now. I'm doing my guide for the layers. So then you stand behind. You can't cut this either in front or behind. Because if I try to cut this from the front, I'm gonna be like this. So I gotta be on the side to cut this. If I was to be behind it, then I'm uncomfortable too. So use the shape of the head. This is gonna determine your guide for where your layers are gonna start. So you can start right where the short one is, or you can go up a little bit more so your layers ain't so short. I'll cut right there.
From the front.
Yeah. Travel your guide with the shape of the head, 90 degrees. Separate the hair that you just did. Put the half that belongs over there, and the half that belongs to this side on this side. I'm not putting that side away because I'm gonna start on that side. So now, remember, you did your top guide. When you're doing your front layers, she's looking away from you. So now I'm gonna go like this, grab straight sections down. Make sure you don't cut into your angles. You'll see a couple angles shorter, start at your hanging length.
So what are you doing now?
Huh, so Mr. D, what you
What's this layers?
Start at your hanging length. See it right here? And I'm gonna try to meet up to that top guide.
So when you do it, you pull it to the side, right? You don't pull it up or down. You just pull it straight up.
Straight out from the head, 90 degrees, like it's a pinhead.
Do it on this side too, right?
Yeah. If I lose my guide, I go down a little more to find my guide.
And do that from the back.
Yeah. See, I'm starting to bump into my guide already. So I know I gotta tilt down a little more.
Was that the layers, right?
Yeah. See, right here. As I get to that. Right there. That's it. Now, that's my guide to do this whole section. So it's kind of like doing hanging length, except for your hanging length is straight out from the head.
Okay.
But it's layers, because this top one, when it lays down, it's gonna lay down shorter than the ones in the bottom. So now you're gonna grab another section. You grab another section and take half of what you just did in the front, so you can travel it back. This is where it gets a little mixed up, because you got hair in front, hair in back, it gets in your way. Just try not to grab it, that's all. You might grab some, don't stress it, as long as you see your guide. And if you guys lose your guide, like I said, follow procedure, go back and try to find it, or if not, start at your hanging length and meet to that peak at least.
No, you gotta stay behind her.
Stay behind her, yeah. You can see my guide under there. See it?
Yeah, yeah. Wowzers. I didn't know I was gonna learn this. Females pay so much to get their hair done.
That's it, right into it.
Crazy.
Keep going back, take half of what you just did, add some to it.
You got to, though. You gotta
If you comb this out of your way like this, and comb this one back, it'll kind of stay out of your way.
You can reclip it. It's easier.
Yeah, you can reclip it. You can use more clips than just 4. Now you go to this side, same thing. Get your little straight parts. Be careful you don't cut into your angles. Start at the hanging length. You can see already my guide. Meet into it, that's it. Now keep traveling. See my guide under there? Now you gotta do your back layers. So for your back layers, you're gonna take a little piece from both sides, just like you did in the front. But you're gonna need a little section from the front to leave out, because that's what we're gonna meet into for that back guide. Get your little section from the left. Get your little section from the right. Now we're gonna cut it. Start at your hanger. Once you see the hanger dropping, start cutting. Go with the shape of the head. Cut. As I'm starting to get up here, I can start grabbing this here and throw it in here just so I can see which way I'm going. See it? You know I gotta meet into that. That's it. Now I can put this away because I don't need it because I already used it. And now I gotta separate this back guide for my back layers. So I split this back up, put it where it belongs. Put that where it belongs.
So you just
Take
do
a
the
side.
same thing as the front and the back, pretty much.
Pretty much. Now, see this guide? This is gonna be what I'm gonna travel that way, from bottom to top. So, remember your hanger length is your guide, and this is your guide, plus what you're traveling. I'm gonna add a little bit of here to that.
So the front is top to bottom, the back's bottom to top.
The whole thing is bottom to top. When you're doing front layers, it's bottom to top. When you're doing angles, it's bottom to top. Everything starts at your hanger length. Because if you don't start at your hanger length, you're gonna jack up your hanger length. Then you gotta start all over again. So now you stand over here to do that side. I can see it. You see the one I just did, the little mohawk guide? Follow that. See it? So not only I can see what I'm traveling, but I also got a top guide and a guide from the bottom that I'm traveling up. That's it. Now keep moving. Keep traveling it over. Use half of what you just cut. Take what you're gonna cut.
Put them all together, man.
Put the half of what you cut and a little bit, 1/4 inch part over here. You don't put it all together. You only use half of what you did. I can see my guide under there. Now, remember we did that little piece from both sides. So now I know I got a little piece here, I gotta travel that way. So I'll add a little bit of here to that little piece I already did. Now it gets a little harder because you might not be comfortable doing this side. So remember, you stand on the left to do the right side, stand on the right to do the left. So you're more comfortable, the more over here you stand, the more comfortable you're gonna be to keep traveling that way. You can step that way as you want. Remember to start at your hanger length. You can see my guide under there. That's it. That's your layers for the back. Now what you want to do is, once you're done with your front and back layers,
Just hate some.
you want to check that your front and back layers match. So you're gonna check it the same way you cut. You're gonna check it the same way you cut your front layers, from bottom to top like that. Just gonna check that from here to here it blends, because that's where we had that part.
That's not how they find out if you did good.
That's how you find out if you did good. So you see any stragglers? See, like I have a couple little ones. Because remember that part folds here to the front and to the back. It over directs a little bit, so you want to check it to make sure it blends in. That's it. That's it. That's your layers. You want to blow dry it?